Miss Stephanie, as city councilwoman, and I don't know if this would be the case or not, but you sort of got your finger on the pulse of things that go on both in public and more specifically behind the scenes. Is there any discussion? Would you have access to any information about the current Chief Crump situation that regular folks like Erin and me and the listeners might not?
Well, I'm surprised this is still a story. I mean,
Really?
We have confidence in Chief Crump, and we're all concerned about crime, and we're moving forward.
Councilman Bowman's calling for him to be fired. You disagree strongly with that?
Well, I just think it's paradoxical that the chairman of the Public Safety Committee and also, like myself, have a couple of really high crime areas would be calling for the chief of police to be fired when he's not even been on the job quite a year. I'm not sure exactly all of the backstory on it, but, the citizens of the city are concerned about crime. I was at a school yesterday speaking with third graders, and one of the questions they asked me was, what are you going to do about crime? I mean, so even the babies are concerned about it.
Is the chief doing the best he can, in your opinion?
I think he is. I mean, he's been in law enforcement. My father was a MP in the military at Barstow and other, places in the world. Shreveport police officer, Shreveport police detective. And so I understand, the dynamics of being in that position. And I believe that Chief Crump, with his years of law enforcement, he's doing the best job that he can, and we're seeing results already from his leadership.
So, what you're saying is, so not only, in your opinion, is he doing the best job he can, according to Stephanie Lynch, he's doing a good job?
Yes.
Stephanie, many people in the city, other leaders, they have concerns and questions about the incident the other night. The police chief and another officer shooting at suspects who were, as the reports came in, running away. Do you have questions and or concerns about how that was handled, and could it have been handled differently?
We were not there. So we're, Monday morning quarterbacking a situation that we did not see. I think, the mayor moved appropriately to say, let's investigate it. Let's make sure the protocols were followed, that, the best practices in police work were followed. And hopefully we'll get that information. If there's some, deficiencies there, some things we need to do differently or better, I think it will probably come, out as a result of this. For sure.
Earlier in the week, we had Councilman Bowman on, and he was, in fact, I think the phrase he used was, the mayor needs to light a fire under Chief Crump. Then the incident with the shooting happened, and Councilman Bowman was even more critical, calling for his dismissal. What do you think the motivation for Mr. Jerry's comments, his criticisms of Chief Crump are?
The last thing you want to do, especially in this climate that we're in now, is to be, soft on crime. You can't afford to be soft on crime and soft on your support of the chief law enforcement officer. Especially, as I said, when you have high crime areas in your district. I mean, as much support as you can give that person, we have to do that. He's only been there not even a year. And so I'm not really sure what the motivation is, but, I am concerned about it because he is the chair of public safety and, has, like myself, a few areas that a lot of the shootings and a lot of the more serious crimes are happening in. So he may feel some extra pressure that maybe something more should be happening. But the problems that we're experiencing in some of these areas has nothing to do with who the police chief is.
Mr. Jerry also said on the radio with us that he thought without a doubt that crime, that law and order, that law enforcement would be issue number one in the mayor's race next year. Do you agree with that?
I think it would be issue number 1.5.
And
The main issue in this city right now is economics.
Jobs.
Mm-hmm. That is the number one issue. And, some of this crime is a derivative of that. And so if you put crime before economics, we're going to keep having these issues. We're trying not to go back to the 80s.
You are one of the council members that's pretty well connected to your district. One of his claims was that the public has lost confidence in the chief. You have to be hearing that from some people, correct? I mean, it's not everybody going, oh, he's doing a great job.
I've not heard that.
Not at all?
Not at all.
So you think the public still has confidence in Chief Crump?
Yes. What the public does not have confidence in at this point, from what I'm hearing and even reading, is our ability to bring jobs here that pay